If you want to support your Kansas City Nidokings, get a shirt with the logo slapped on it and put it on your body. It's pretty cool. Link on the screen and in the description below. Hello, what's going on? It's Master of the Kingdom and Coach Kansas City Nidokings, and today we have our IBL Season 4 Week 14 prep versus Ashley the Cat and his Houston Hardens. Holy shit, I did that perfect. That's crazy. Anyways, I'm going to be going over the team that I built with a lot of help from Eric, and pretty cool stuff. It's a very, very interesting squad. But first, let me go over his. I forgot to pull it up. His team is Celesteela, Mega Gallade, Arcanine, Crocodile, Slowking, Goodra, Vikavolt, Cradily, and Togetic. Overall, it's a very well-balanced team, and it's very slow. Mega Gallade is the fastest thing, being at base 110, but Jolteon outspeeds his entire team by a shit tons. Anyways, when I first looked at this team, I had one Pokemon in mind that I was like, I'm gonna bring you guaranteed, because I think you work out nicely. Beating around the bush, let's just get to it. So, first up this week, we have Megan Fox, the Mega Altaria, with, Fire Blast, Hyper Voice, Draco Meter, and Agility. So bringing a specially attacking one this week, and that's the reason for that. Draco Meteor does a ton to Arcanine anyway. My original plan was to have EQ on there, but I don't really want to use that for that. I don't know. I have a couple other Pokemon that I'd rather take on the Arcanine anyway. But this thing hits super hard, and with an agility up, it outspeeds everything, and then I can just Hyper Voice the crap out of everything. And yeah, so this thing has enough speed to outspeed... What is it? No, it's enough speed to outspeed Scarf Crocodile after agility. With a decent amount of HP, a max special attack with a modest nature, and then 4 on either of the defenses. So it's a very interesting very interesting Pokemon, and it's different than I ran in the previous 2 weeks. And a trend, even though it's only been 3 games so far, every time I brought Altaria, we've won. Every time I didn't, I lost, even though I'm 2-1, but still. Anyway, that's kind of I just felt I'd mention that for some reason, but yeah, this is what I meant by weird sets. This is just the first one. So, anyway, that is about it for Megan Fox. I suppose I can go over specifically. Fire Blast does really well for the Celesteela. That was the main reason I brought it. Also hits Vikavolt really nicely, because this thing, well, I mean, Vikavolt has a lot of trouble with this thing. Not so much the other way around. Hyper Voice just hits well against his entire team. He's got, like, Celesteela and Arcanine are his only resistances, and Arcanine's not going to want to take it if it's not AV, so, you know, that'll be really nice. And then Draco Meteor just hits hard against his entire team. He has one Fairy type in Togetic, which I believe he'll probably bring, but Togetic isn't a big issue for Altaria. And since Draco Meteor misses, again, it would just be ineffective against Fairy types, so I don't get the special attack drop, which is amazing. And then Agility, obviously, so I can outspeed everything and be very good when it comes to that. So, that is about it. Next up, making his debut and his only appearance this season for the Kansas City Nidokings is Atem the Cofagrigus, holding the leftovers with Mummy, Haze, Hex, Rest, and Will-O-Wisp. So what I mean by that is I made a trade. Upon week 5, I will not have this Pokemon anymore, so we'll go over that in the week 5 team preps. Anyways, here, this thing is just meant to be a freaking bulky wall. This thing is max physical defense with max HP as well. It ends up being an odd, so it works. I put a little bit in special attack just because my attacking move is a special move in Hex. Anyway, he does not have a normal type on his team, so he doesn't have anything immune to Haze. Now, the whole reason I want to do this is getting up a Will-O-Wisp on something like the Gallade and the Crocodile, like super heavy physical attackers. In Celesteela, if it happens to be. Haze is really, really there, so I can wipe out a sweeper's stat boost. Because, like, Celesteela gets the Beast boost, Mega Gallade likes to set up, and Crocodile might set up if it's not a Scarf set. So, as well as Vikavolt, even though Vikavolt can't really touch the Tem. And then Rest, so this thing can be irritating, get back to full health. There isn't a lot that can, like, several knockout, because I'm pretty sure that I can sit in against something like the Crocodile, and, it can't, like, 2-hit KO me with max, and then I can rest up. I don't know. Anyway, I think it can, but if I get the Will-O-Wisp on it doesn't really matter anyway. So this thing, as I said, relax, max defense, 4 in special attack, and then max HP. And that's pretty much it. This thing is meant to be an irritating wall, and luckily the trade didn't go in effect this week. It goes in effect next week, because we made the trade like 2 days ago as of recording this or something like that. Anyway, yeah. So that is about it for a Tem here, and not much else to say. We'll be facing it later in the season. Well, at least the team it'll be on, so you know. And yeah, that's about it. Next up on our team, we have Team Captain Welkin, holding the Life Orb with Sheer Force, Poison Jab, Fire Blast, Earth Power, and Ice Punch. This entire moveset runs through his entire squad. It does not OHKO Pokemon like the Crocodile, but I will not be staying in on Crocodile anyway for fear of the Scarf. Fire Blast is gonna hit Celesteela really hard. Earth Power just does well against his entire squad. The only resistance he has, quote unquote, are his 3 immunities to it, being the Pokemon that fly above the ground. And everything else is hit at least neutrally, so it's like, it's really good. Poison Jab Obliterate, it does more damage to Togetic than Sludge Wave would, and it would help me more against the Slowking, as well, because it would do more to the Slowking. Because Slowking is a physical, is especially defensive, while Slowbro is physically. I believe that this amount of special attack was enough to, let's see, Ice Punch. Ice Punch is the one we did. What Pokemon was that for again? Ice Punch has a chance to OHKO and OHKO the Goodra, and if Stealth Rocks are up, then it definitely knocks it out. So that was the reason we ran Ice Punch, and it still does a hell of a lot to Crocodile. Ice Beam would OHKO. I would have preferred Ice Beam, but Eric said we should go Ice Punch, so you know what, I'm gonna take your word for it. So this thing has enough attack, obviously, to have a chance to OHKO the Goodra, has a Lonely Nature to boost that a little bit more, a bunch in special attacks, so this thing hits like a truck, and enough speed to outspeed max speed Celesteela. So that is about it for Welkin here. Definitely different than I would have built. Anyway, that is Welkin for us. Next up, we have Combo the Skuntank holding the the King's Rock with Stench, Crunch, Poison Jab, Play Rough, and Sucker Punch. Now, this thing, Stench obviously gives you a 10% chance to flinch, and then King's Rock, I believe, doubles that, right? It gains a 10% chance. So everything has a chance to flinch here. And Poison Jab obviously just basically obliterates Togetic. And this thing has enough speed to outspeed, I think it was max speed Goodra? I think that was what we were going for, or was it the, let's see, what was Welkin? 125, so yeah. I believe that's max speed Goodra. Excuse me, it is enough speed to outspeed an adamant Crocodile. That was what we did. Sucker Punch is obviously, it would be really nice to hit the Gallade with that, because the Gallade is pretty bad defensively, so if I hit that, I could do a ton of damage and leave it open for another Pokemon to clean up, such as, like, one of the other Pokemon that we have left to go through, and I don't want to spoil the team. Crunch just hits super hard against his entire squad. Let's see, his only resistance being is Crocodile and Togetic, and it just hits so hard against his entire squad, especially with this thing being max attack. And then Play Rough is for Crocodile mainly, because I don't really have a way to touch that thing otherwise. Yeah, that's really about it. It also does a ton to make a Gallade. Crunch would too. So pretty cool stuff. This thing has enough speed to outspeed Adamant Crocodile, and 4 in each defense, a bunch in HP, and then maxing out its attack, so this thing is going to hit hard, and hopefully get a couple flinches so we can stall out some Pokemon. Let's see, what was the whole idea? What Pokemon were we trying to deal with? Vikavolt, that's what it was. We were discussing that. Bug Buzz does a ton of damage to this thing without the Assault Vest, and I kind of wanted to do Assault Vest, but you know, and that's about it for combo here. Yeah. Next up, we have Hawkins I almost said Jawkins the Holteon, holding the choice specs Volt Absorb, Thunderbolt, Signal Beam, Volt Switch, and Hidden Power Fire. Yes. So this thing has enough speed to outspeed Mega Gallade after, let's see, no, is it Mega Gallade? Yeah, okay, so I put this, I'm gonna put it back to level 50 real quickly. I put it to level 100 so I could have max IVs, and still have the Hidden Power Fire EVs. Now this thing has enough speed to outspeed max speed Gallade. We're not going to really worry too much about the agility on the Vikavolt, because I would go up to 191 and that would outspeed agility Vikavolt, max speed agility Vikavolt, so yeah, pretty cool stuff. It allowed me to run a modest nature so this thing can pack a punch. Nothing really wants to deal with this thing. It's got a really good all-around set. Signal Beam is going to hit that Crocodile like a truck. Hidden Power Fire is going to do fairly decent damage. I believe we brought that for Vicable, because that's my best thing to touch Vicable. Volt Switch, obviously, to get a pivot off. It'll do a lot of damage anyway. And then Thunderbolt just shits on Celesteela. I don't think it OHKOs it, but it does a ton of damage to Celesteela. Mega Arcanine, excuse me. Mega Gallade Arcanine. What? He's got one immunity to it, being Crocodile. And then Vicable resists it, and so does Goodra. But Goodra AV would take a Specs Thunderful. Wouldn't take it very well, but it would take it. This thing with its speed is going to be one of my primary wall breakers, especially for that Celesteela. That thing is an issue, and hopefully Hawkins can deal with that. And, yeah, so, pretty cool stuff. 4 in each defense, enough, the max amount of HP I can put that gives me an odd number. Max special attack with a modest nature, enough speed to outspeed Mega Gallade. And that's pretty much it for Hawkins. I think the Jolteon is going to be super clutch to use this week, and I need to be very careful. I feel like that Crocodile is going to be a must-bring for him just because of the Jolteon and how big of a problem Jolteon can be, as well as I have 2 poison types, so you know. Now, I didn't do a lot of mentioning about Stealth Rocks, but a bunch of moves do have a very high chance to OHKO or 2-hit KO with the Stealth Rocks. I don't remember the exact ones, but at least on some typical sets. But we need a Stealth Rock, so we're bringing 707 the Skarmory, holding the leftovers with Sturdy, Stealth Rock, Spikes, Brave Bird, and Roost. Now, this thing has enough bulk to live. What was it? It was a Thunderbolt, I think, from Vikavolt or what was the other one? Goodra. One of the two. It allows me to guarantee live one of those to get out my Stealth Rocks in case he has Stealth Rocks up and that break my Sturdy. So, pretty cool stuff. This thing is Careful Nature because it doesn't need any sort of special attack. Brave Bird is obviously just that typical stab. He does have several resistances to it, being the Celesteela, the Vikavolt. No, the Vikavolt's neutral, and then is that actually it? No. I was thinking Fairy typing when I was thinking Brave Bird, but Celesteela is actually his only resistance. I was not paying attention. Nice. Anyway, we're running Stealth Rock and Spikes. If I get a chance to put on more Spikes, that'll be really good for Pokemon like that Arcanine and Crocodile. Whittle them down so Pokemon like Jolteon could come in and take it out. A bunch of HP investment, a good amount of defense investment, so this thing can lift some physical hits, like a Flare Blitz from Arcanine better. And then a little bit in attack to boost the power of Brave Bird, and then 4 in speed because I couldn't put it anywhere else. And I suppose if something is specifically trying to speed creep Skarmory, then I will tie it. So, you know. And that's about it. I don't know exactly what would tie. I don't remember his specific Pokemon. Maybe if it's Goodra trying to creep it to outspeed by 1 point or something like that, but I mean, you don't run max speed Skarmory anyway, so I don't know. Anyway, that is about it for the squad this week, guys. I really hope you all enjoyed. If you did, appreciate it. I'm nervous for this fight. This is the toughest matchup yet. He's got 2 Z Pokemon, 3, excuse me, with Arcanine, Crocodile, and Celesteela. So that is a big issue. I'm gonna need to scout out and try to figure out which one it would be. Atem is definitely my best choice to take on all of them, except for Darkinium Z from the Crocodile. Everything else Atem can take. I'm worried for this match, and I'm hoping this team will work out for us. If not, we're down to 2-2, which sucks. But I'm excited to play Ash. I haven't played him yet. Obviously, I haven't played anyone in the league. Everyone that I've played already, that's my first time playing him. So I don't even need to bring that up. So that is about it. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Did appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe for more, and let's go Nidokings.